Hello and welcome back to Jesse's Vintage Garage. We're still working on 68 Triumph. We will be for a while. It's coming together though. It's starting to really look nice. In this video, we're going to be working on the headlamp, getting it installed into the front forks here. Building it and putting it in the front forks is what I'm getting at. And then, I don't know if I mentioned this before when we were doing all the other front end stuff, but it's a good time to point it out. And I don't know if we showed it when we were building the front forks, but when you go to tighten these up, kind of the best way that we found out is when you get them installed into the front forks. I should have mentioned this in a different video, but when you get these installed to the front forks, put your axle in. It'll hold these tubes nice and straight and true. You can get on here with that special tool and tighten it up a little bit. It don't need to be totally tightened up a lot because there's an O-ring in there. You don't want to crush it, and it'll help seal and all that stuff as well too. So just need to get it nice and snug. They don't usually, that I know of, ever heard that they come loose, but if anything, they get tighter as time goes by. So anyway, let's move on to getting the headlamp assembled and put in the front forks here. Okay, I have the headlamp stuff kind of laid out here. We're going to be working on the headlamp for the T120. In the parts book, there's two different sections for two different headlights. The TR6C has a different headlight. It has like a different switch and stuff up here. And it's a little bit smaller, but and then it's a larger one for the T120. So I got all the parts here. We got a new socket for a pilot light. Remember, if you remember right, this bike did not have a headlamp that was set up properly for this 68. So I had to get everything lined up that's correct for that. Got a switch here. The headlamp mounting bolts, chrome washers, and spacers that are involved. The pilot light bulb, I've got an LED one here. And then special little bulbs for the indicator lights. These are the BA7S's, two new ones there, and two new Joule indicator lights by Lucas. And yeah, they're ready to go. And then the socket for the headlamp. And this special headlamp over here is from the Bonneville shop. And this is actually a pretty nice one. You can actually see the difference between high and low. And this will be really nice to go in it. And so we're going to get ready to put this together. Here's an original amp gauge also. So we're going to start off by putting that in, I believe. The wiring harness is sitting here. We're probably going to put that in later because we don't want to run all this stuff yet, but we'll have to pop it in from the back. And of course this would be the part that's inside the headlamp, this end here with the indicator light here, and the rest of the stuff would lay across the frame when we're ready. But we'll be doing that coming up later in a different video, but as for right now, we're just going to build this and get this headlamp on the bike and keep moving on with other things.
There's little notches for where them, see them little notches are where them clips go. Since this has been used once before, it's going to go in kind of hard. Might have to have a little screwdriver and push it.
And then they get bent.
Yeah, and I got to bend them out.
We got the amp gauge installed here. You got to apply pressure on it, and once you have it nice and firm and pressurized, you just got to bend these tabs over on the inside. So we got that all put in there just right. And it's nice and rubberized because there's a little gasket, so you can't go too crazy with it unless you smash the gasket out. But
it's an O-ring.
O-ring, okay.
Yep, that's what it is.
Okay, next we're going to put the indicator lights on. Left is green one, and then the red one's on the right. I think they got like a little washer thing there that's for like a seal.
They just press in hard.
And they go in kind of any way because they're round and there's no notches. So however you want to do that, I guess.
They just pop in hard. Like that.
There you go. And then I guess next up
switch.
Toggle switch.
And then it's gonna look all done.
So this is just the on-off switch?
Yep.
So it doesn't matter. It depends on which side you want it on and off on?
Well, we won't know that till you, there's a flat right here, see?
Oh.
There's a flat there. So it
only
only goes in one
I
way.
guess it goes in one way like that then. Yeah, blocks. Otherwise it'd come loose if you didn't have a tightening flat like that. Okay, so got the switch installed. It's ready to go. And now we're gonna work on some inside stuff here and get the bulb and globe stuff put on. Alright, so one of these indicator lights is going to be used for the oil pressure we talked about in a different video. Or we're going to run an oil pressure light instead of just a running light to show that the bike was actually on and running. I remember explaining that earlier. And then this other one is wired into the harness. We'll find out later which one's which, but then we'll wire accordingly. But yeah, so far we got the pilot light in, we dropped the bulb in, and now we gotta do is put this wired socket in there.
And this only goes one way, so you got two close and one far away. One farther, it's just different. So it only goes one direction. There it is.
All right.
Okay. Like that. I don't know if that's too big.
Yeah, we don't want to slip off and scratch it either. It's very kind of a thin one.
You gotta have one that fits it. Don't fit it. Yeah, it's got one that fits it. For now, we'll just use this.
There we go. I'll just go put on the bike, I guess. Alright, we have the headlamp installed with the spacer in there where it belongs, and then flat washer, chrome one, and then a chrome hex bolt here at the end. This is a reproduction bucket, and we're going to just be straightforward here with this. The reproduction ones don't take the same bolt as the stock standard original one. So the threads in this reproduction bucket from Lucas is actually 24 thread, and you're going to need a standard chrome, just a chrome hex bolt with 24 threads, the right length. And originally the bolts I think would have been a domed head here anyway, and they would have been chrome also, but I didn't have an original bucket that was in decent shape. What I do have that I picked up at a swap meet is kind of like pitted and not pretty enough for me, so this one was pretty good, so I just went with this instead. And these spacers are special for the T120 because it would be different for the TR6C because it'd be the smaller headlamp. So anyway, this was kind of fun and quick. So I hope you enjoyed everything on this. We're going to move on to some other things here in the next video, but this kind of comes to the conclusion on just putting a headlamp on and building it for the 68. So I guess we'll see you again soon.